I would like to give you a presentation of how is studying like at the University of Hohenheim. And I don't know if you know anything about us, if you have been here or if you have looked us up, where we are. We are in the south of Germany, south of Stuttgart, which is quite a very nice area, and you can do lots of sightseeing here. And you probably know Stuttgart because we have lots of headquarters of international companies here, German companies who work internationally, and for example Daimler and Benz, and they're all gathered here, and which is kind of a problem because that raises rents here, so it's pretty tough to find an apartment. And later on in my presentation I will go and tell you a bit about how you can find dormitory rooms here on campus, and I hope that I will give you some information about that as well. As you can see, we have 40 programs for bachelor's and master's degree. Today we will talk about the master's degree for the economics faculty. We have overall 9,200 students, which is kind of a very small university. So we are considered the smallest university of Germany, and I think we could be proud of it, because I think with smaller classes you have a better teaching experience for the students. So some students have told me that they really enjoyed it, so that might be an advantage for you. We have also over 1,300 international students, which is quite high compared to the percentage of other universities. For example, we have about 14 to 15% international students, and that is quite high. So if you're on campus during normal times, you can always hear in English on campus everywhere, so it's quite very common here. Each year we have more than 2,200 new enrolled students in winter semester. Of these 2,000 new students, there are about 400 to 500 international students. Of those, we have also students who like to do just one semester or 2 semesters as an exchange students. As I already said, today is faculty number 3, Economics and Business Day. We have 3 faculties in total. One is the Agricultural Science faculty, so we had day 1 and 2 on Monday and Tuesday for those reserved, and yesterday it was the Natural Science Day, and today we have an introduction to the Business and Economics faculty. And I would like to go to my next slide. So this is agricultural science. We have, of course, master's programs in German as well as in English. And this is the case for each faculty that we have. And if you have questions about the double degree, I can say as much. Double degrees are supposed to be a full-time degree program where you can study at 2 universities. So for example, you start here at Hohenheim in your first year, and the next year you go to a different university, for example Bologna. I think we also have double degrees with partnering Chinese universities, so that is possible. And it's also possible the other way around. So if you start in a university abroad and then you go to our university and come here for the second year. Natural sciences, we have that as well, that we have both possibilities, so German language and English language master's degree. And I would also like to go to the Economics and Social Sciences University faculty, because you can here now see what we offer if you're interested. So for example, the English program is listed here as Bioeconomy, Economics and International Business in Economics. Bioeconomy, as my colleague Kelly already said, is one program that is possible to study at all three faculties. So for example, if you have already a bachelor's degree in economics, then you can enroll, of course, for Bioeconomy. But then you would be kind of based at the Faculty of Economics and Social Sciences, but can also take part in other faculties as well. So if there are classes offered from the Natural Sciences Department that you can get as well, you are of course welcome to join these classes as well. And for the German language courses, we have Communication Management and Analysis, Management, Masters in Finance, Information Systems, and Education for Business and Economics. The information system, Kelly, you can correct me if you know something else. This is also a master's program that is partnering with the Stuttgart University. So if you enroll yourself here for this program, you will have classes at Stuttgart University, which is kind of our partner university here at Stuttgart, but you will also have classes here. Okay, and I would like to give over to Kelly now because you will tell us a bit how much that all costs.
Exactly. I see from our list of participants we have a mix of what looks like, just based on the names, some Germans and some international students. But for everybody who comes here, it's interesting to know how much will it cost. First of all, everybody who comes needs to pay a semester fee. Each semester that you re-register for classes, you will need to pay about 184 euros and 90 cents. It changes a bit from semester to semester. That's just the example for the upcoming summer semester. And part of that goes to just an administrative fee. Part of it goes to student services, which is actually separate from the university, but they provide a lot of services on campus, such as they run the dormitories, they run the canteen where many students and employees eat. And it includes a basic student ticket for the Stuttgart metro area. There's also a small contribution to student parliament included in that. The student parliament then decides how to spend that money to improve life of students on campus. And then if you're not an EU or EEA student, you'll need to pay 1,500 euros per semester for the state of Baden-Württemberg, all the universities. And there are plenty of exemptions and exceptions to that, but it's really a case-by-case basis. It's very hard to say generally. What you can do is you can go to our FAQs. I've placed the link in the slide, and then we'll be publishing the slide at the end of the day today, and you can follow that link and then read more about what exemptions and exceptions there are and whether you might fall under any of them. Later on, Miriam will also give you the email address of the colleague in charge of tuition fees, and so if you have any more specific questions about your situation, you can contact her. And finally, for those who have already completed a master's degree and now want to start a new one, there's a fee of 600 euros per semester. Now, if you're an international student who's already completed a master's degree, don't worry, you don't have to pay both of the fees. You only have to pay the fee for international students, not the one if you're completing a second master's degree. So that's what you need to pay the university. But then, of course, you also need to pay to live here, just regular costs of living. So Miriam, the next slide, please. Now, the Student Services Organization that I talked about just a moment ago, they did a survey in 2019 of lots of students across Germany to find out what the average cost of living is. Now, what they found out is that the average cost of living for the typical student is about 832 euros a month. Now, what they consider a typical student is a student who has no family, so not married, no children, and who is not living at home with their parents. Okay, so if you, by yourself, come here and you rent an apartment or a shared apartment, these are about the costs that you can anticipate. But of course, this is an average and it varies widely from person to person. Is it okay with you to live in a shared apartment where you have your own room but share a kitchen and a bathroom with other students? Then your rent might be a little bit lower than this. For example, the cheapest dormitory rooms that we have available on campus, I think they start somewhere around 220 or 240 euros. So that would be well under this amount. But if you are someone who prefers to have their own space and you want to have a one-bedroom apartment all to yourself, then you can expect costs well above that in the Stuttgart area, because Stuttgart is has a relatively high cost of living. All right, but you can use this just as a basis for seeing how much should you anticipate needing when you come here to study. Of course, there are ways to earn money as well, and I've got some of those listed on the next slide. Germans and some international students are eligible for BAföG. That's basically a subsidized loan for students from the German government. International students also have the option of looking for scholarships from their home country. We can't give you a list of those because it obviously varies widely depending on where you're coming from, but it's worth checking out what options your country has available. If there's a Goethe Institute in your country or in your region of the world, contact them. Often they'll be able to help you, and they know what scholarships are available for somebody in your situation. The University of Hohenheim, as most universities in Germany, also offer what's called a Germany scholarship, the Deutschlandstipendium. That's when the university cooperates with companies. The company and the university each pay a certain amount, and students can apply for these scholarships depending on the field that they're working in. I wouldn't anticipate applying for one from abroad and having it at the start of your master's program. Much more likely is that you come and do the first year of your master's, and then you can start applying for this kind of scholarship. You'll need to have excellent grades and be involved in the community, doing volunteer work or in student committees, things like that. There are also many scholarships available from German institutions. You can go to the DAAD website that's listed there. That's the German Academic Exchange Service. They have a scholarship database that you can search based on your country of origin, what degree you're studying for, that you're at the master's level, and the field of study that you're in. So if you enter all of that information, they'll show you the scholarships that you are eligible to apply for. However, I don't want to raise your hopes too much on these. The experience of the Office of International Affairs is that there's only about a 10% success rate for students applying to these scholarships. So don't just apply to all of them and think, oh, I'm sure something will work out. Really look at the criteria and decide which ones fit best to you, which ones do you have the best chance of getting, and then apply to them, but realistically. If you absolutely need a scholarship to study in Germany, then take care of it before you come. Don't look at the long list of scholarships and think, oh, I'll be able to get something when I get there. Apply for them now. Some of them, the deadlines have actually already passed. Some of them are coming up soon. So if it's something that you would need before studying in Germany, make sure that you take care of that now before you come. While you're here, you can also get a part-time job. The student visa allows you to work a certain number of days or half days per year. You could work, for example, as a research assistant here at the university. Almost all of our institutes and departments have positions for students to work part-time in addition to their studies. There are some that you can have without knowing any German, but the majority of them you need to know at least some German to take the position. So what we highly recommend is that you start learning German as soon as you decide to come study here. That will improve your chances of getting this kind of research assistant position, for example, and will just in general help make your life a little easier here in Germany. You could also get a part-time job outside of the university, but if you want to do that, your German needs to be good. If you think, for example, about working in a restaurant, obviously you're going to need to know German at a pretty high level to be able to interact with the patrons at the restaurant. We have a video that some of our international students prepared. I've linked it there. Again, when the presentation is uploaded at the end of the day today, you can follow that link, or you can just go to our YouTube channel and look for it. And they talk there about the different legal aspects of getting a job here in Germany and other things that you need to consider if you want to get a part-time job in addition to your studies. So those are some of the things you need to keep in mind in terms of money, both the costs that you'll need to anticipate and possible ways of financing your studies. And then I would turn things back over to Miriam for the rest of the presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. I think, I wanted to add something because one of my assistants here at the International Affairs Office is also an international student, and she works in a home for elderly people here. So it's possible, of course, to find jobs here, and I think her German was not really good, but it's improving because of her contact to the elderly people, so that helps as well. So if you find somebody who is willing to take you as a student worker, and if you can say, okay, I would like to improve my German, and my German might be not so good right now. Well, it's of course possible, but there are always these times where you can find possibilities. Anyway, I wanted to continue to talk to you about the ideal study situation that I think that we have here at the University of Hohenheim. I said that we have a campus that is close to Stuttgart, which is kind of a very interesting way to discover urban and rural Stuttgart, because what we have here is a campus of short distances, which is different than what you can find in different universities here in Germany. For example, I have studied at Heidelberg University, and in general, studying at a university in Germany means that you have to travel a lot between different parts of the city. So the university is not on a campus as that, but it is spread over the whole city. This is not the case here at Hohenheim. We have a campus where you can find everything. So we have dormitories close by, we have labs close by, we have the university library close by. We have also a possibility for you to get food, because we have here a mensa, what we call in German, or a cafeteria, a refectory on campus. You can see the picture here down at the lower bottom of the slideshow. It is the refectory from outside during non-pandemic times, of course, and you can, of course, have that here on campus as well. And what we also have is, of course, we have all the classes here on campus. But yeah, as I said, we also have that cooperative master's degree with the University of Stuttgart. So for those of you who are interested in doing that, you are, of course, supposed to travel to a different place here in Stuttgart. What we also have is, for students, there is a welcome week for students. We have a part that is for international students or for students at the English taught programs, but we also have a welcome week for all students in general. What we also have is we have a wide partnership programs with partners worldwide. So if you are interested in going abroad for, let's say, as an exchange student or doing your internship abroad, you have a possibility to go to 140 partners worldwide. What we also offer is you can be active as a student, be it as a student member of the student council or in student groups. We have groups that deal with sustainability. We have also groups that just offer guidance for students from their own country. For example, we have an Iranian group, we have a Chinese group. We also have ISO, which I have included here in the slideshow, because ISO, I would like to point out to those of you who come from a different country, because ISO is called the International Student Organization, and they offer a buddy program for students coming from abroad. So if you get a place here and if you come to Hohenheim, consider applying for one of the student buddies, because they will help you to get organized everything. So going with you to the offices where you have to register, helping you answering questions. Of course, what they also do is they offer trips to Heidelberg, to the Lake of Bodensee, Lake of Constance, I think in English. And so it's, yeah, you could consider that applying there. As I said, library is situated on campus as well, but we also offer a nice study-life balance. So what you can do is you join sports teams. For example, we have a soccer team. We also offer yoga. Right now during pandemic, it's all online, so you can join yoga classes online. We also have a sailing team that always goes on sailing trips around here. But if you're more the art kind of guy, you can also consider being part of one of our orchestras, or if you rather like to play more in jazz plays, we have the big band where you can join. We also have a theater group, and we have here a facility where you can join parties. So it's all here on campus. I have also listed a point that is called Extensive Counseling Network. What I mean with that is, if you finish your studies here at university, you can go and seek out a place that is called Career Center, because they are connected with all important firms and companies here at Stuttgart. They have a very huge counseling network built up among all those companies, and you can also get in contact with them. What we also have is here in German, we call it Praktikantenamt, so it's an office for getting internships. They also offer internships worldwide. So if you say you would like to do something as an intern in South America, there are sometimes, not always, of course we have to see what is coming in as offers, but sometimes we have offers where you can join as an intern abroad. And you also get money for it. You have to get in contact with the Office of International Affairs and apply for funding there, because we have also some programs who can support you financially in those situations. As I said, we have campus dormitories here on quite close by, and I would like to go to my next slide. This one is just a screenshot that I took from the institution that deals with the dormitories, the housing department. In German, it is called Studierendenwerk Tübingen-Hohenheim, and I have also included the link where you can find more information. I just want to point out, if you apply for a place here at university, you have to apply also for getting a room at one of the dormitories. So we have had a couple of students who did not know that, so they did assume that they were automatically applying for one of the rooms when they applied for a place here at university, and were pretty surprised when they found out that was not the case. So if you apply here at university, also keep in mind to apply, if this is what you want to do, for one of the rooms at one of our dormitories. We have 9 close by, and the price ranges between 230 to 450 euros per room. They're all furnished, and depending on what you apply for, you could either have a single apartment where you have your own kitchen, your own bathroom, or you could also have a room in a shared apartment with other students, where you then share your kitchen or your bathroom with other students. And the living space is between 12 square meters to 30 square meters. And if you come with a spouse, you have a possibility also to get one of the rooms that is for those couple. coupled students or couples, sorry, coupled students, then you have to pay more, of course. But yeah, it is possible to apply for that as well. I would also like to point out the language center. We have here one on campus, and as Kelly already said, it is quite important to know at least a bit of German when you get to apply for jobs. I have or had a friend who did his master's degree here at Hohenheim, and he had troubles finding a job because of his German language skills. So I think he had a really nice amount of interviews for job offers. And as soon as they got to the question, how good is your German? They all said, okay, I'm sorry, but that is not enough. So consider taking part in German language courses as soon as you can. And I don't say that to raise the students in our language classes, but just for you to have the awareness of improving your German when you come here. What we offer is we have either workshops during the semester break, or you can also join classes during the semester. The classes, workshops for international students are designed especially for students that are in international study programs or in English-speaking study programs. There you can learn how to present yourself in English, and also if you need a backup for what is called that specific term in English, then you will find out that in these workshops as well. The languages that we offer range between German, English, French, Spanish, but also we have classes in Chinese and Italian, depending on how many students are interested and are in that specific level of class and language proficiency. Then, of course, it could also be that we have Swedish and other languages as well. I think we also had Russian, and they all try to have Russian courses as well. If you are more interested in intensive courses, just let me tell you this. We have intensive courses at the beginning of the semester and even before the semester starts. That takes more days than just, I think 4 or 5 days. You should keep that in mind. And those intensive courses have 2 parts, basically. So you have the one part that is just language courses. I think it's 6 hours per day. And then you have also the leisure time. So it provides you with guided tours downtown to Stuttgart. It provides you with also guided tours on weekends to, let's say, Tübingen or Esslingen nearby, and so on. So it might be something that you consider. It's quite expensive because for these intensive courses, you also pay for the leisure time activities, for the tickets, and so on. So you might have to keep that in mind as well. If you have to do language exams, Unicert test stuff for the German language test exams, that is also possible there. And yes, and also, yeah, about one thing I wanted to tell you is how much it costs. It's each teaching unit per week is €12.50. So depending on what kind of offer you take, it is sometimes the workshops are 5 days for 4 hours each day. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Okay, so last but not least, who are we? Kelly and I are both working for the Student Counseling Team, die ZSB in German, Zentrale Studienberatung. We are here for you in every situation. So before you start studying, you can be contacting us. You can also contact us during your studies if you face, for example, exams anxiety and so on, and or if you would just like to find somebody who is in charge of your problems, or who you can turn to solve your problem. And also, as I said before, there is the possibility to contact us if you need a job, or if you would like to apply for jobs after your finished master's degree. So these are the details that you can find how to contact us by email, zsb@unit-hohenheim.de, or you can also phone us. And we also offer a WhatsApp consultation and Zoom consultations. And today, right now, there is one going on until 12 a.m. So if you would like to join us, you can, of course, ask your questions there. And one last information: if you need to contact the Office of International Affairs, you have several possibilities. One is for general requests, is just aaa@ua.uni-hohenheim.de. And if you have specific questions concerning your application, you can write to degree-students@ua.uni-hohenheim.de, as well as you can direct your emails to tuitionfees@ua.uni-hohenheim.de if you have questions in regards of your tuition fee. That is what I wanted to tell you. I hope you have had the possibility to answer a couple of questions and not to raise many more questions. If you have, just feel free to ask us in our the FAQ session. Sorry, I was just clicking on the wrong button. And yeah, then I would like to thank you for your attention, and we are waiting your questions.
Thank you, Miriam.